We're here to celebrate with this class their accomplishments that they have finished in this first stage of their lives. Their academics, their athletics, their character development, their spiritual growth, their artistic success, but they have not reached this point on their own. Many of you here in the audience today have played an influential role in their lives, in their development and their accomplishments, and on their behalf I thank you for the role that you have played in helping them to get to this point. So give yourselves a round of applause as well. In recent days, I've seen a number of places, primarily on Facebook and a few other places on the internet, people who've made a little bit of a joke about commencement being a celebration of finishing the easiest part of your life. And I think there may be some truth in that, but to be honest, when I first looked at that, I was a little perturbed by it, because I think in some ways that underscores or minimizes the importance of this occasion. And while later in life, looking back on high school, we may see it as a time that was not that hard compared to what life will be like in the future, these students have accomplished a great deal, and today is worthy of recognition and celebration, and I'm proud of all 10 of them for the work that they've done and the things that they have accomplished. At the same time, there is some truth to that statement, and those of us in the room who are adults do know that life will only get harder as they go forward. One of the things that's helpful in my job is to anticipate things, to anticipate what a result may be of a certain decision, or if you allow a certain thing to happen. And in thinking through what I'm about to say, I anticipate that someone may respond that a commencement is no time for a political statement. So let me say that I agree with you on that 100%, and that what I'm about to say is not a political statement. Instead, it's a statement of truth, and a statement of reality of the world in which we live and the circumstances in which these students are graduating. SBA is a relatively safe environment for young people. It is a place where they have compassionate and caring adults around them. They have rules that are designed to keep them safe. In many ways, SBA is like a harbor or a fortress, but a ship is not built for the harbor, and soldiers don't win a war staying in the fortress. And today, not only do we congratulate these students on finishing high school and mastering reading and writing and arithmetic and Spanish and history and science and whatever else, but in many ways, they are finishing boot camp. And they're about to launch into a world where there is a very real war taking place. A spiritual war, and a cultural war, and a war for what is true and right and honoring to God. Our motto at SBA, as seen on the sign as you enter campus, on the cornerstone in the main building, on the floor on which you're sitting, is God's truth for today's youth. It's a catchy motto. It's easy to say, easy to remember, but it encapsulates the mission statement of this school. And our mission is to instill in the lives of each student who comes through our doors God's truth. And contrary to what the powers that be in our country or our world may say, God's truth does not change. God's truth is the same yesterday and today and forever. Today's youth do change. Some of us in this room could probably more wholeheartedly attest to that than we would prefer. The youth fades. And those who were sitting on this stage 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 50 years ago, may wish that they could go back to being a young student again. So youth changes, but God's truth does not. And no matter how long we may be here in this school, in this mission, God's truth will remain the same. The world in which we live says there's no such thing as truth. It says that truth is relative. It's subject to change over time based on what's popular, what feels good, who's in power, or who's in control. But contrary to what the President of the United States may say, or the Congress of the United States, or the Supreme Court of the United States, any governor, any state legislature, any school board or town council, God's truth does not change. We do not have the right or the power to determine what truth is. And as Jesus said before ascending back into heaven, all power in heaven and on earth were given to him. And as he told Pilate, he would have had no power, but it was given to him from above. Our world is changing rapidly. It's plunging full speed ahead into an unknown future that is more than likely going to end horrifically. We're advancing with speed and over a precipice of destruction brought on by indulgence and sin in pursuit of that which is pleasing to self. But our God does not change. and his truth does not change. And it is God's truth that we believe. It is God's truth that we teach. It is God's truth on which we stand, and so help me God, we will do no other.